Thank you all for being here on this sort of cool, unusually dark spring afternoon. My name is Andrew McRoberts. I'm the president of the Society for the College. The Society for the College is a 501c3 nonprofit, Virginia corporation. We are made up of alumni of the college, students and faculty committed to something we call the three keys. The three keys are what we believe to be sort of the three legs of the very important William & Mary stool. And that is the history and traditions of William & Mary, which are unique and special and deserving of protection. The good governance of the college, without which there is no confidence in how we run things around here. And academic excellence, which has been traditionally the core of what the college has been all about. We believe without any one of those three things, the college and the college community suffers. And we are here to talk especially about academic excellence, although given our history of academic excellence, one can certainly say that we're here talking about a very important William & Mary tradition as well. The Society for the College is both broader in its base and different in its focus than other organizations related to the college. It's broader in that we have within our network of folks, not just alumni, but also faculty and students. And certainly that's different than, I believe, just about any other organization related to college. We're also focused differently than other organizations. We focus on matters of extreme importance to the college that other organizations simply don't touch for various reasons, including the curriculum. We're proud to have sponsored this event, which is our fourth on-campus discussion about the ongoing curriculum examination by the college. And so, without any further ado, I'd like to turn this over to Matt Ames, class of 1980, who is chair of the Society for the College's Curriculum Committee. Matt.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you all very much for coming. We were hoping for a standing room only crowd, and we just about got it, so we really appreciate everybody coming out. I'm going to first introduce very briefly our four distinguished panelists. I hope you'll join me in welcoming them. Josh Gert, Berhanu Abagaz, Mark Bauerlein, and Pete Snyder, and I'll be introducing them individually before they speak and tell you a little bit about them then. But before we do that, I wanted to step out of my role as moderator for a few minutes and address a couple of points with respect to the Society's concerns and views on the current process that the college is going through with respect to the curriculum. After I do that, they'll each speak for 10 or 12 minutes, so we'll spend about an hour on the panel presentations, and then I have a few questions maybe to kick things off, and if the audience has questions, we'd love to hear from you. We'll take about half an hour for discussion and questions, and then I hope you'll join us afterwards for a short reception. The 2 points that I wanted to make in terms of the Society's perspective on things have to do, one with process and the other with substance in connection with the process that the college is going through now. And I know some of you are aware of what the administration and the faculty have been working on. I'm not going to summarize that. That's part of what Professor Gert is going to do in a few minutes. So you may be a little bit at sea in terms of some of my comments. But in terms of process, one of the things that we've observed over the past year is that back in May of last year, and sort of to kick this process off, the Curriculum Review Committee made a recommendation on what the new curriculum should look like. And as part of the process they had gone through, they did focus groups with the faculty and with the students. And the summary of those focus groups is appended to their report. What we think is very much missing is a focus group or some kind of input from alumni. Alumni are obviously major stakeholders. Even if we're not parents, as I am, we still have concerns. We love the college, and the faculty certainly should have primacy in terms of determining what the content of the curriculum should be. But I think it's unfortunate that alumni were not directly consulted. So we've tried to fill that gap by writing a white paper, which is available on our website, which gives our views on what the curriculum should look like, and then having this panel as well to continue the discussion. So I just wanted to make the point that in terms of process, I don't think that alumni have been duly consulted. The other point that I want to make more substantively really goes to a couple of points in terms of the philosophy that seems to be underlying the proposal as it exists right now. I think it's clear, well, there's an emphasis in the curriculum proposal on interdisciplinary study and global relevance. Now, these terms are not in themselves particularly troubling, and they are in fact tied to the strategic plan that the administration developed and that the Board of Visitors approved about a year ago. In fact, the Society, during the development of the strategic plan, we submitted comments to the administration at that point in terms of what we thought were concerns and reacting to different points that the administration was considering. And so we had some things to say about that at the time. But I just wanted to make the point here that as far as interdisciplinary study goes, this sounds good. And I was talking to my eldest son, who is a graduate student in physics right now, working on his PhD, and I was talking with that. They said, "Oh, I know where that came from. There's lots of talk and lots of research in the field that says that all the great advances, or many great advances, are made out of multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary work." But then he said, "But those are professors, senior grad students, faculty members, people who already know one subject." And of course, he's absolutely right. And that's our concern. It's fine to have some senior level classes for the best qualified undergraduates, perhaps. But our perspective is that students need to come into William & Mary and get a solid grounding in at least one discipline before they're ready to move on to interdisciplinary work. So that's a concern that we have. And the other point with respect to global relevance and internationalization, these are terms that show up in the strategic plan and in the curriculum documents. Again, we're not really sure what those mean. I think we could all agree that there is a phenomenon called globalization. We hear that word a lot in terms of the economy and what's been happening, how it's affected our economy, the world economy. And that's the key thing. I use the word economy there. Globalization is this process where other nations have become more competitive, the world as a whole has become more interdependent, and it has clearly affected the economy and the society of the United States, just as it has had effects around the world. But that's an economic phenomenon, and it's a historical phenomenon. The problem with the current curriculum proposal is simply that nowhere does the new curriculum require a single course in economics or in history of any kind. You might actually end up taking one. You might even take an interdisciplinary course that talks about globalization, but it wouldn't actually be required. So as far as the curriculum proposal, as we understand it goes, as it stands right now, on its own terms, we think that it does not succeed in terms of what it has to do. So that's what motivated our desire to have this panel and invite all of you, and we're very grateful that you came. And we want to keep the discussion going here on campus. We wanted to have some faculty members and see what their perspectives were. So with that, I am going to introduce our first speaker. And then I think they may choose to sit at the table. They may come up here. I'm going to sit down in a minute and let them talk. We'll figure that out.